The knife slipped from my trembling hand, clattering against the marble countertop like a gunshot in the empty kitchen. Blood, my blood, smeared the blade, but it was nothing compared to the wound ripping open inside me. "You're nothing but a distraction, Xavier?" Dominic's voice echoed in my skull, cold as the steel I just dropped. His words from hours ago slicing deeper than any cut. I stared at the crimson droplets pooling on the floor of his flagship restaurant, Lucille, high above Manhattan's chaos. The city lights twinkled mockingly through the floor-to-ceiling windows, indifferent to the storm raging in my chest. How had we gotten here? From stolen kisses in the walk-in freezer to this me, a broke college track star from Brooklyn, bleeding out my heart in the domain of a man who'd clawed his way to 3 Michelin stars on the backs of everyone he'd ever stepped on. It started 6 months ago, or maybe it always had, buried under layers of sweat and ambition. I was Xavier Hayes, 22, a senior at NYU on a partial athletic scholarship, pounding the pavements of Central Park at dawn, chasing sub-4-minute miles for the national track qualifiers. My life was a rhythm of spikes on asphalt, protein shakes, and late-night study sessions in the library, dreaming of Olympics gold and a life beyond the projects where I'd grown up. Gay? Yeah, I'd known since high school, but in my world it was just another hurdle, not a billboard announcement. Love? That was for people with time, not for guys like me who measured success in seconds shaved off a personal best. Then there was Dominic Voss, 38, German-born, American dream chiseled, with a jawline that could cut glass and eyes like smoked quartz. Piercing, unreadable. He'd immigrated at 18, worked his way from dishwasher in a Queens diner to owning an empire of eateries. But Lucille was his crown jewel. French fusion with a brutal edge, where celebrities begged for reservations and critics trembled. Whispers followed him, racist undertones in his old-world standards. The way he'd fire Latino line cooks for not fitting the aesthetic or dock pay from black servers who didn't smile right. But talent? He worshipped it, or so I thought, until he met me. Our paths crossed at a charity run for underprivileged youth in the Bronx. I was the guest athlete, pounding out laps while donors sipped champagne. He was the sponsor, all tailored suit and predatory smile, watching from the sidelines. Afterward, as I chugged water and signed autographs for wide-eyed kids who looked like me, he approached. "Impressive form," he said, his accent a velvet rasp. "You run like you're fleeing something." I laughed it off, wiping sweat from my brow. "Just chasing dreams, Mr. Voss." But his gaze lingered, stripping me bare in a way that had nothing to do with my tank top clinging to my skin. We talked about food oddly. I'd always cooked for my little sister simple soul food that stretched a paycheck, and he grilled me on techniques like it was an interrogation. By the end of the event, he'd slipped me his card. "Internship. Part-time. Learn precision. You could use it." I took it, desperate for cash. Little did I know precision was his god, and I was about to become his disciple or his downfall. The first shift at Lucille was a blur of heat and humiliation. The kitchen was a battlefield. Flames roaring, pots clanging, egos sharper than cleavers. Dominic ruled it like a tyrant, barking orders in a mix of English and French that left me scrambling. "Non. The reduction is lazy, it's bleeding acidity." He'd snap at a sous chef, veins bulging in his neck. To me, the wide-eyed intern in a borrowed apron, he was merciless. "Xavier, taste it. Now, tell me why it's wrong." I'd fumble, cheeks burning under the brigade stairs. Mostly white, mostly men, all sizing up the diversity higher. But late nights, after the last ticket cleared, he'd pull me aside. "Watch," he'd say, his hand guiding mine over a whisk, our fingers brushing in the steam. Those moments cracked me open. His laugh, rare and rumbling, when I'd botch a roux but quip about my grandma's gumbo. The way he'd loosen his tie, revealing a sliver of collarbone tattooed with a faded script, "Kochkunst über alles." Art over everything. I fell hard, confusing mentorship for magic. One rain-soaked Thursday, after a double shift, we stayed late prepping for a VIP dinner. The restaurant emptied, jazz humming low from the speakers. "Why me?" I asked, chopping onions that stung less than the vulnerability in my voice. He paused, knife hovering. Because you see it, the poetry in the plate. Most don't. They chase trends. You hunger. His eyes locked on mine, and the air thickened. I don't know who moved first, but suddenly his mouth was on mine, tasting of Merlot and regret. It was fire, urgent, consuming, his hands fisting my shirt, pulling me against the cold steel of the prep table. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. "This can't happen," he whispered, but his grip said otherwise. Did, though. Stolen moments in the alley behind the restaurant, my back against brick as he kissed me like I was the last course. Whispered confessions over midnight Uber rides. His failed marriage to a socialite who'd called him too intense. His fear of vulnerability in a cutthroat industry. Mine, the homophobic coach who'd benched me in high school, the dad who'd walked out when I was 12, leaving mom to raise us on tips. We were broken plates, pieced together in the dark. But cracks formed fast. His rages, fueled by whiskey and deadlines, turned ugly. I'd overhear him on calls. "That sommelier's got an accent? Send him back to whatever shithole." Or worse, muttering about affirmative action bullshit when a black investor pulled funding. I confront him, voice low. "Dom, that's not you." He'd snap. "It is. This city's a jungle, survival of the fittest." Then he'd soften, pulling me close. "Except with you. You're different." I wanted to believe it. God, I did. Track season ramped up, nationals looming in Philly, and Lucille became my second skin. I dashed from practice to shifts, feet throbbing, heart full. He started leaving notes in my locker. "Run faster. For us." Tickets to shows off-Broadway, where we'd hold hands in the shadows. Love? Yeah, it was that, a wild, improbable thing blooming in concrete. Then came the betrayal, sharp as a paring knife to the gut. 2 weeks before qualifiers, I was late. Coach had us doing hill sprints till dusk. Bursting into the kitchen, apron half-tied, I froze. Dominic stood at the pass, berating Raul, our expediter, a Puerto Rican vet with scars from the line. "You're sloppy, like everything from your island." The words hung, toxic. I stepped in. "Dom, ease up. He's busting his ass." Heads turned. Silence. His face darkened, that quartz gaze turning to ice. "This isn't a democracy, Xavier. And you," he jabbed a finger at my chest, "you're late. Again. Because you think your little hobby matters more than my empire. It's not a hobby. It's my shot." My voice cracked, heat rising. He laughed, bitter. "Shot at what? Glory? You're a runner. Fast but fleeting. Here you learn real craft. Or you don't belong." The kitchen erupted in murmurs. Raul slunk away. I stood there, fists clenched, tasting blood from biting my tongue. Belong? After everything. Everything. He stepped closer, voice a hiss. "You're an intern. A diversion. Go chase your dreams elsewhere." The knife fight happened later that night, alone. I'd grabbed a blade to practice julienne, but my hands shook, slicing my thumb instead. Blood dripped as tears did, the weight of his rejection crashing down. Diversion. That's all I was? The man who'd mapped my body with his lips, who'd whispered, "I love you," against my neck last week. I bandaged it sloppily, grabbed my bag, and fled into the night. The subway rattled me home to Bed Stewie, where mom was asleep on the couch, TV flickering infomercials. I curled up in my twin bed, the city humming outside, wondering how love could curdle so fast. Days blurred into numbness. I threw myself into training, spikes pounding pavement like war drums. Coach noticed, "Hayes, you're a machine. Whatever's eating you, channel it." Nationals tickets burned a hole in my duffel. Dominic? Radio silence. No texts, no calls. I deleted his number, but his ghost lingered, in the scent of rosemary on my clothes, the ache in my chest. The tournament arrived like a thunderclap. Franklin Field in Philly, stands packed with scouts, flags snapping in the wind. I towed the line for the 1500m prelims, heart hammering. Lanes filled with rivals. Lean wolves from Oregon, sprinters from Cali, all eyeing the prize. Whistle blew. I exploded forward, legs churning, world narrowing to breath and burn. Lap 1. Surge ahead, crowd a distant roar. Lap 2. Pull even with the leader, a white kid from Stanford named Tyler, all ivy polish. Lap 3. Fatigue clawed, but Dominic's voice echoed, faster. For us. I pushed, lungs screaming. Final stretch. Tyler edged me by a breath. Stumbled across the line, collapsing in the grass, metal dreams dashed. Second qualifier, coach yelled, hauling me up. Finals tomorrow. You got this. But as medics swarmed and flashes popped, I saw him, Dominic, in the stands, third row, face pale as pot brise. Our eyes locked across the chaos. Shock, regret, something raw flickering in his gaze. What the hell was he doing here? He'd come, after everything. And in that moment, as confetti rained and my chest heaved, I realized the race wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Adrenaline crashed like a wave, leaving me hollow on the infield grass. Dominic's silhouette blurred against the sea of faces, but I felt his stare like a brand. Why now? After ghosting me for weeks, after calling me a distraction? I wanted to scream, to vault the barriers and demand answers, but Coach's meaty hand clamped my shoulder. Haze iced that hamstring. Hydrate. Finals at noon. We're not losing gold to your drama. Drama. If only he knew. I nodded, mechanical, letting the team doc tape me up while my mind raced laps faster than I ever had. Dominic Voss, king of the kitchen, slumming it at a college track meet. Had he bought a ticket on a whim? Stalked my schedule? The thought twisted something fierce in my gut, hope, maybe, or just masochism. Back at the Athletes' Village, a squat dorm on Penn's campus, I showered off the grit, steam clouding the mirror. My reflection stared back. Dark skin glistening, locks plastered, eyes shadowed with exhaustion. The cut on my thumb from that night throbbed under the fresh bandage. A stupid reminder. I toweled dry, pulled on sweats, and collapsed onto the bunk. My roommate, Jamal from Howard, was out celebrating his Heat win, leaving me alone with the whir of the AC and the ghost in my phone. No messages. But I knew he was here. Sleep evaded, dreams fracturing into nightmares. Dominic's hands on me, then pushing away, the kitchen knife flashing. Crowds chanting my name, then jeering diversion. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. Breakfast was oatmeal and bananas in the cafeteria, teammates buzzing about matchups. Tyler's got that killer kick, someone said. I tuned it out, scanning faces for a ghost in chef whites. Nothing. Warm-ups dragged. Stretches, drills, the field alive with spikes and shouts. Coach pulled me aside. Zav, you're off. What's eating you? I shrugged. Personal. He grunted. Leave it in the lane. Or don't bother. The final gun sounded at high noon. Sun brutal overhead. Stands thundered families, alumni, scouts with clipboards. I settled into lane 5, blocks digging turf, pulse sinking to the starter's cadence. Bang. We surged, a pack of fury. First 400. I hung mid-pack, conserving. 800. Surged to third, legs coiling like springs. Crowd noise swelled. A living beast. 1,000 meters in, Tyler pulled ahead, his form poetry in motion. I dug deep, quad screaming, vision tunneling. Faster. Dominic's voice again, unbidden. For us? Screw that, for me. For the kid in Brooklyn who'd laced up sneakers on cracked sidewalks, dreaming of this dirt. Bell lap. Roar peaked. I swung wide, passing the Oregon guy, then the Texan. Tyler loomed, untouchable. But doubt flickered in his eyes as I closed. 10 meters. 5. Lungs afire, I leaned, world tilting. Tape broke. 3 minutes and 58.47 seconds. Personal best. Gold. Collapse. Cheers crashed over me like surf. Teammates mobbed. Coach bear-hugged till ribs creaked. Metal heavy around my neck. Flashbulbs blinding. But through it all, I searched. There, Dominic, clapping slowly from the edge of the pack. Expression unreadable. Bride? Pain? Our eyes met again, current arcing across the divide. Presser was a haze. Mike's thrust, questions on strategy, training. Xavier, what fueled that kick? A reporter asked. I paused, Mike hot in my grip. Betrayal, I said, half joking. Laughter rippled, but it landed heavy in my chest. Post-meet banquet that night, hotel ballroom, rubber chicken and speeches. I spotted him at the bar, nursing scotch, suit rumpled like he'd slept in it. Avoided him till dessert when resolve cracked. What are you doing here? I hissed, sliding onto the stool beside him. He turned, slow, like unwrapping a gift he wasn't sure he wanted. Watching talent. Accent thicker with liquor. Yours. Bullshit. Heat flushed my face. You made it clear I'm no talent in your world. Wince. He set the glass down, fingers drumming. I was wrong. Scared. Scared. I laughed. Sharp. Of what? A black kid from the hood seeing through your crap. His jaw tightened. Of this. Gesture vague, encompassing the room. Us. You. My life's a fortress, Xavier. One crack. It crumbles. I leaned in, voice low. You built it on cracks. Firing people for their skin, their accents. That's not strength, that's fear. Silence stretched, thick as beurre blanc. Around us, laughter, clinking glasses. His hand twitched like to touch mine, but he didn't. I came to apologize, and to see you fly. Too late, but my heart lied, thudding traitorously. He slid an envelope across the bar-thick cream stock. Read it later, please. I pocketed it, storming out into Philly's humid night. Streets alive with post-win revelry, but I walked alone, metal bouncing against my chest. Back in the dorm, Jamal snoring above. I tore it open. Handwritten, his script precise. Xavier. I am a man of precision, but with you I am imprecise, crude, even. My words that night were weapons born of panic. You threaten everything. My control, my image, the walls I've erected against a world that branded me outsider before I branded others. Racism? Yes. It's in me, ugly inheritance from a father who fled post-war Germany with hate in his veins. I've justified it as standards, but it's cowardice. You saw through and I lashed out. You are no diversion. You are the fire I lack. I love you fiercely, foolishly. Forgive me? Or at least, run your race knowing I cheer from the shadows. Dominic. Tears pricked, hot and unwelcome. Crumpled it, then smoothed it out. Love. There it was, black on white. But forgiveness? That was a marathon, not a sprint. Next morning, bus back to NYC. Skyline greeting like an old foe. Mom picked me up at Port Authority. Hugs and my champion tears. Home smelled of collards simmering, normalcy a bomb. But Dominic haunted, texts now, tentative, proud. Call? Ignored. Week slid into routine. Classes, practice, job hunt.
Le ciel loomed, à sirène call.
Raoul texted, boss asking for you. Kitchen misses the chaos. I laughed, but it hurt. Then the call, NYC Food and Wine Fest, biggest gig of the year.
Dominic's demo slot, precision in chaos.
Invite extended via email. Formal. Your presence would honor us.
Honor.
After everything, I went. Masochist. Venue packed. Celebs and critics milling under Edison bulbs. Backstage, chaos reigned, his chaos. Spotted him, directing with that familiar bark. Our eyes met across steam clouds. He froze, then nodded, small, significant. Demo time. Spotlight hit. Him in whites, charming the crowd with tales of fusion. Cooking is war, he said. Flames leaping. Allies, enemies, the perfect strike. Plating demo dish. Seared scallops on forbidden rice. Microgreens like emeralds. Applause thundered. Q&A. Hand shot up, mine unbidden. Mr. Voss, what about the human cost of precision? When standards crush the people behind the plate. Murmurs. His gaze locked. Unflinching. A fair question. Precision demands sacrifice from all. But true mastery? It builds, not breaks. Pause. I've learned that late. From someone who runs, not away, but toward. Crowd-awed. Clueless. I stood, heart pounding, and walked out. But he followed into the green room shadows.
Xavier.
Voice rough,
Dom.
mirror of his tone. He closed the distance, hands hovering. That was you. In the envelope, in every plate since. I'm changing. Firing the poison in me. Therapy even. For us. I searched his face. Lines deeper, eyes softer. Us? You rejected me. Publicly. In panic. Not truth. His hand found mine. Thumb tracing the bandage scar. Come back. Not as in turn, as partner. Partner. Word hung electric. But trust? Fractured. I need time. Pulled away but gently. He nodded. I'll wait. Run your race. Back in Brooklyn, medal on the shelf, I ran, literally miles unwinding the knot. Mom noticed, prying over dinner. Boy troubles. I spilled edited but real. She squeezed my hand. Love ain't a sprint, baby. It's the long haul. See if he paces with you. Fest buzz hit papers. Voss's emotional turn at F&W. Speculation swirled. My phone lit up scouts, offers. But Dominic's texts persisted. Recipes shared. Not please. Tried your gumbo twist. Divine. Weeks turned. NYU semester end. Track off season. I audited his world from afar. Instagram stories of Lucille tweaks. Diverse staff spotlights. Community pop-ups in the Bronx. Change or show. Climax brewed at the gala. James Beard Awards. Lincoln Center glitz. Dominic nominated for Outstanding Chef. I scored a ticket via a foodie friend. Tucks pinching, nerves electric. Red carpet swarm, flashes popping. Inside, tables groaned under hors d'oeuvres. Spotted him across the room, silver fox in black tie, laughing with judges. Our eyes met, spark. Dinner dragged, speeches droning. Then, Outstanding Chef. Dominic Voss. Roar. He ascended, poised, but voice cracked. This is for the fire that refines us. For Xavier Hayes, who taught me precision isn't perfection. It's heart. Gasps. My name public. Heads turned, whispers rippling. He locked eyes with me, unashamed. You run toward truth. I will too. Applause swelled, but I burned. Exposed, honored, terrified. Post-ceremony mingle, he found me by the bar. Too much. Perfect. I breathed, hand in his. Kissed him there, soft, defiant. Cameras flashed, but screw them. We slipped out into Central Park night. Bench under stars or what passed for them in NYC. I'm in, I said. But slow. Real. He smiled, rare and real. As you pace. But betrayal's shadow lingered. Whispers followed. Old staff alleging toxicity. A lawsuit brewing from a fired cook claiming discrimination. Dominic's empire teetered. My race? Just beginning. Summer heat blanketed the city like a fever dream, turning asphalt to tar and tempers to tinder. Dominic and I navigated our fragile truce with the caution of bomb texts. Texts turning to calls, calls to coffee at hole in the walls where no one knew his face. Black with oat milk, he'd order, mocking my hipster shit. But his eyes crinkled warm. We'd talk track times and tasting menus, skirting the scars. Love rekindled, tentative like a pilot light flickering back. Lucille called me back. Not as intern, but consultant. A vague title that let me shadow without apron chains. First day, tension hummed. Staff eyed me wary. Raoul clapped my back, whispering, "He's different since you." Was he? Dominic demoed a new dish. Jerk spice duck with plantain emulsion, nodding to my roots. Your influence, he murmured, hand brushing mine under the counter. Nights blurred into us. His loft in Tribeca, minimalist fortress of steel and glass, overlooking the Hudson. We'd cook, me on grill, him on sauce, jazz vinyl spinning, bodies sinking like a pot of dew. Kisses deepened, but we held back, rebuilding on words not just want. Tell me about Germany, I'd prompt, tracing his tattoos. He'd share fragments. Boyhood in Berlin ruins, apprenticing under a tyrant chef who wielded belittlement like a ladle. He broke me to build. I swore I'd be better. But hadn't he echoed that cycle? Conflict simmered beneath. Press hounded Postbeard. Voss's mystery muse. Trackstar steals spotlight? Tabloids sniffed gay angle, but we stonewalled. Dominic tensed at headlines, old walls rising. They'll use you against me, he'd mutter, pacing. Pull him down. Or for us. Then the bomb dropped. Lawsuit filed. Marcus Hale, former line cook, black vet from Harlem, alleging wrongful termination, racial harassment. Details gutted. Slurs in the kitchen. Go back to the fields after a plating flub. Demotion for cultural mismatch. Dominic's face ashen when served papers at brunch. He's lying. I fired him for theft, shorting inventory. But doubt gnawed. I'd seen flashes, his standards veering cruel. Confronted him that night, loft echoing. Dom, was it theft? Or something else? He whirled, eyes stormy. You too? After everything? Not accusing. Asking. Voice steady, but heart quaked. He deflated, sinking to the leather couch. It was both. He was sloppy, yes, and profiled. Assumed incompetence because of his record ex-con. It's in me, Xavier. The ugliness. But I'm fighting it. Therapy slips he shared. Unpacking immigrant rage, generational poison. I believed him, mostly. But Marcus? His pain real. I visited him in Queens, neutral ground. Chef Voss, he change? Wide eyes, scarred hands fidgeting. He's trying, I said. For real. But justice? That's yours. Marcus nodded, weary. You his heart. Something like. Watch it don't break you. Back home, I mediated. Pushed Dominic to settle, publicly apologize. He resisted, empire at stake. This kills Lucille's rep. Fights escalated, words weapons again. You're choosing them over me, he'd roar. No, choosing right. I fire back. Track off season meant freedom, but I ran anyway, solo loops in Prospect Park, clearing headspace. Mom meddled, sage as ever. Love tests, baby. See if he bends or breaks. Climax crested at Labor Day, Voss Empire Bash. Rooftop of Lucille, skyline ablaze with fireworks. A lister swirled, champagne flutes clinking. Dominic magnetic host, but I saw strain. Jaw tight, laughs forced. Marcus's suit loomed, trial date set. Mid-party, donor cornered him. Silver-haired investor, voice oily. Dom, that lawsuit, bad optics. Cut ties with the boyfriend. Diversity's trendy, but scandal. Dominic stiffened, glancing my way. I froze, eavesdropping from shadows. Xavier's not the issue. Sure he is. Token love. Ditch or sink. Rage boiled. I stepped forward. Token? Tell that to the gold medal. Donor blinked, sputtering. Dominic's face. Gratitude warring fury. Out, he snarled at the man. Now. Chaos rippled. Whispers spread like spilled sauce. Dominic pulled me aside. Rooftop wind whipping. I almost. God. Xavier. Almost what? Heart hammered. Listened. Old me would've. He gripped rails, knuckles white. But you're my north. Kiss then. Fierce under stars, city humming approval. Fireworks boomed, masking sobs, his maybe mine. But betrayal struck post-glow. Morning headlines. Voss sued for slurs, witnesses speak. Raoul, my ally, quoted anonymously. He called me spick once. Thought it was joke. Wasn't. Betrayal double-edged, staff fracturing, trust eroding. I confronted Raoul at his bodega job. Why? He shrugged, eyes down. Truth hurts, but change needs push. By torching him? Torching the lie. Back at loft, Dominic shattered. Glass hurled. Curses in German. Everyone leaves. You will too. I held him as he broke, body racked. Not leaving, but we fixed this. Together. We did or tried. Public statement. Apology tour. Diversity training mandated. Settlement with Marcus including mentorship fund for vets. Critics sneered, PR stunt. But actions followed. Hires diversified. Menu nods to global roots. Dominic leaned on me. Vulnerability his new spice. therapy joint sessions, where he'd grip my hand, voice raw. I fear losing you to my darkness. Fall deepened, leaves carpeting paths. My grad apps loomed, sports management, maybe culinary hybrid. Dominic supported, no pressure. Your race. Thanksgiving at mom's, first meet the parents. She grilled him over turkey. You hurt my boy? He met her gaze. I'd die first. Laughter later. Pie shared. His hand under table on my knee. Family. But storm clouds gathered. Winter nationals invite. Indoor 1500 m. Boston. Training amped. Conflicts peaked. Dominic's schedule clashed. Pop-up in LA. Go, I urged. I'll fly solo. He didn't. Showed in Beantown, bleachers cold. Heat win easy but final ice slick, air thin. Gun cracked. Pack tight, elbows flying. Mid-race, slip. Leg buckled, old hamstring twinge. Pain lanced but I pushed, vision spotting. Final turn, third. Fading. Dominic's voice pierced fog. Heart Xavier. Heart. Search. Pass 2, tape in grasp. 3:55. Record shatter. Podium, metal cold, his hug warmest. My champion. Post-meet, hotel bar, we toasted. To us, he said. But phone buzzed, LA pop-up review. Voss's desperation. Overhyped. Underwhelming. Sabotage? Whispers of rival chefs. Jealous of his woke pivot. Paranoia crept. They're coming for you, I warned. Let them. Defiant. But eyes shadowed. Holiday lights twinkled as we flew home. Hands laced. Love deepened. Roots digging. Yet betrayal's echo lingered, trust a fragile glaze. New Year dawned crisp. Resolution. His. Dismantle the empire's underbelly. Mine. Run unburdened. But fate twisted. Valentine's, Lucille private dinner, just us. Candles, jazz, his collab dish. My gumbo reimagined. Elegant. Dessert, ring box. No key. To the loft.
Permanent.
Tears. Dom. Marry me. Voice quake. Knee hit. Velvet box emerging. Simple band. Engraved precision in heart. Yes. Kiss sealed, world right. But dawn brought horror. Door pound, feds. Raid. Tax evasion, was? Agents swarmed. Badges flashing. Betrayal unveiled. His accountant, crooked. Cooking books for years. Dominic cuffed. Face ashen. Xavier, it's not. Dragged away. Me frozen, world collapsing. The slam of the loft door echoed like a guillotine. Agent's boots fading down the hall. I stood amid chaos. Drawers yanked, papers strewn. The ring box crushed underfoot like our vows. Valentine's petals wilted on the floor. Blood-red accusations. Tax evasion? Dominic, architect of empires. Felled by ledgers? My mind reeled, replaying his proposal, the trust in his eyes. Lie? Or victim? Phone exploded. Mom's, what fresh hell? Jamal's bro, you good? Press vultures circling. I silenced it, grabbed coat, cab to the station. Holding cell cold. Dominic behind glass, jumpsuit swallowing his frame. Bail hearing tomorrow, lawyer droned via speaker. His gaze met mine, broken quartz. Dom, talk. Not here. Whisper fierce. Trust me. Did I? Cab home, city blurring neon tears. Loft violated. I crashed at mom's, her arms haven. Money men always dirty. She soothed, chamomile steaming. But doubt festered, whispers of offshore accounts. Kickbacks from suppliers. Had love blinded me to rot? Morning headlines screamed. Michelin mogul in chains. Voss empire crumbles. Stocks tanked. Reservations cancelled.
Le ciel chuteur de pending investigation.
Staff scattered, Raoul texted loyal, but scared. Betrayal layered, not just accountant but a web. Dominic's old partner, exiled years ago, fingered in leaks. Bail hearing, courthouse marble mausoleum. I sat front row, suit starched, heart pulp. Judge stern, flight risk high, Mr. Voss. Passport surrender, ankle monitor. Released on 5 mil. My savings untouched, his hidden assets frozen. Outside, Paps swarmed. Xavier, is it true Voss used you for cover? Elbowed through. Dominic's hand found mine in the scrum. Brief, electric. My place. Cab to Tribeca, silence thick. Inside he paced, monitor blinking. It was Bruno, ex-partner. He cooked books to sabotage, framed me. Accountant flipped. Proof. Coming. Auditors tomorrow. Collapse onto couch, head in hands. I built clean, Xavier. Swear. I knelt, cupped his face. Then fight. We did. Days bled into war room. Lawyers, docs piled, coffee cold. Media blackout. I became shield. Statements measured. Dominic's innocent. Focus on facts. Batole mounted. Sleepless, he'd wake sweating ledgers. I'd run at dawn. Miles numbing ache. Track season thawed. Spring inviters, my focus fracturing. Coach bench to practice. Hayes, you're ghosting laps. Confessed fragments. Personal apocalypse. Channel it. Or quit. Quit. Never. Next meet. Princeton. Rain lashed. 800 puddles splashing. Gun. Surge through downpour. Rivals blurring. Mid-race. Slip. Fell hard. Turf biting knee. Crowd gasped. Up limping but finished fourth, no quali. Dominic waited. Umbrella futile. You rose. Towel-draped hug. But lost. Winnings not lanes. Kiss in rain. Cinematic foolhardy. Investigation dragged. Feds combed. Bruno indicted as mastermind. But damage deep. Empire gutted. Lucille padlocked. Pop-ups paused. Dominic hollowed. Chef without kitchen. Who am I? Nightly lament. You're mine. I'd affirm. Bodies entwining gentle. No rush. Just anchor. Humanity crept in. Community rallied. Bronx pop-up fund from Marcus, now ally. Pay it forward, he said, shaking Dom's hand. Therapy deepened. Group now, survivors of industry abuse. Dominic shared. I was poison. Learning antidote. Spring bloomed. My seasons peaked. Pen relays, distance medley anchor. Team leg to me, 1600 closing. Stands electric, Dominic trackside. Monitor hidden under slacks. Baton slap, fly. Lapped field, kick savage. Win. Handoff to him post-race, medal shared. But climax loomed, Olympic trials, Eugene, Oregon. My shot at Paris. Dominic's trial synced. June, federal court. Go, he urged. I'll face alone.
No.
Defiant. Together. Eugene sweltered. Hayward field cauldron. Quali standard. Sub 3:35 for 1500. Heats brutal, top 4 advance. Mine. Lane 7. Heat 2. Whistle. Pack off slow. I gunned early. Leading at 600. Burn hit 1000, legs lead. Fade to 5th. Bell desperate. Surge. Pass 3/4 across. Advance. Dominic's text. Proud. My warrior. Finals eve, hotel call. Tomorrow's mine too, he said. Depositions dropped bomb. Bruno confessed all. Relief flooded. Free. Indicted him. Me? Cleared. Pending paperwork. Tears. Run home to you. Finals dawn, sun gilding track. Stands 10K strong. Flags waving. Elites. Pros. Collegians. Dreams distilled. Block set. Heart scripture.
Bang.
Conservative start. Mid-pack weave. 800 in third, Tyler's shadow ahead. 1200. Gap closes. Breath ragged. Final 200, world shrinks. Me, him, tape. Lean. 3 minutes and 34.12 seconds. Standard hit. Olympic birth. Collapse. Sobs racking. Teammates lift. But eyes seek. Empty? No, they're... Dominic slipped in, hugging rails. Tears mirrored. Post-race press. Xavier the drive?
Mistrust.
Love. I choked. The kind that endures. Flight home. Metal clutched. Anticipation electric. Landed to news. Full exoneration. Charges dropped.
Le ciel reopening, rebranded Voss et partner, littéral.
But betrayal's final twist. Bruno's suicide note, Leaked. Voss destroyed me. Racist prick deserved fall. Lie but venom. Public doubt reignited. Dominic spiraled. They'll never believe. Then show. Plan hatched. Documentary. Raw his story. Our love. Industry's underbelly. Filmed in lofts, kitchens, tracks. I ran on camera, he cooked.
Redemption z maraton, voice over mine.
Summer waned, trials passed. Olympic training amped, Colorado Springs camp. High altitude grind. Dominic visited, monitor off, whites traded for joggers. Pace me. Trails together, hands laced. Fall brought premiere, Tribeca Fest, our film precision's price. Standing ovation, tears streaming. Critics raved. Humanistic triumph, Voss bears soul, Hayes hearts it. Post-screen, alley kiss, paparazzi be damned. We did it. But emotion crested private. Loft, fire crackling. Marry me still? Ring renewed. Yes, forever. Wedding small, Brooklyn Botanic, autumn leaves confetti. Mom walked me, Jamal best man. Vows, his. I was lost in precision. You taught heart. Mine. You ran with me, through storms. Dance under stars, city pulse our beat. Yet humanistic core. Not fairy tale but forged. We funded scholarships, track for underserved, culinary for immigrants. Lucille thrived, diverse brigade. One night, post-shift, rooftop. Regrets? I asked. None. You? Only not sooner.
Kish, skyline witness.
Love not sprint but ultramarathon. Enduring. Winter gripped NYC like a jealous lover. Snow veiling sins in white. Olympic dreams solidified Paris 24. But wait. Trials were spring, games summer. Time stretched, training a monastic rite. Dawn lifts, interval hell, physio tweaks. Dominic adapted. Our rhythm syncopated. His mornings menu planning, mine mile chasing. Loft became command center. Whiteboard scrawled with splits and sauce ratios, coffee perpetual. Films ripple. Invites poured, podcasts. Panels on queerness in sports/food. We tag-teamed. Me on resilience, him on reckoning. Racism's my ghost. He'd admit to wrapped rooms. Xavier exorcised it. Applause, but post-spotlight crashes. Doubts whispered. Enough? He'd murmur in dark. Always. Anchor. Spring thawed. Cherry blossoms Central Park pink. Rehearsals ramped. Mock races taper anxiety. Dominic's empire rebuilt. Lucille reborn. Soft launch intimate. First service. Full house. Critics coy. My table, Mom, Jamal, Marcus, full circle. Duck plated. Jerk infused. Perfection. Marcus nodded. Dominic's grin boyish. But conflict shadowed. Olympic selection camp. Lake Placid. 2-week isolation. Cuts looming. Come if you can. I texted. He did, drove up, snow tires crunching. Cabin nights. Firelit talks. Bodies map warm. Proud scared. He confessed. What if injury? Then silver soul. Kiss dispelled. Camp verdict. Team spot secured. Elation phone call. Paris. His whoop echoed. Pre-game's frenzy. Sponsors. Fittings. Farewells. Mom's send-off barbecue. Ribs smoky. Tears salted. Bring gold home, baby. Dominic grilled. Apron dusted flour. For her. Flight to France, economy squeeze but joy vast. Village buzz. Athletes global, dreams lingua franca. 1500 M schedule. Semis day 5, final 7. Acclamation runs Sainside, Eiffel mocking distance. Dominic joined post-Lucille handover to Sue. Raoul promoted. Hotel near, walks hand in hand, discreet, but free. Sane cruises, crepes shared. Romantic cliché, he teased. Deserved. Semis eve, nerves steel. Visualize, coach barked. I did lanes tape, Dominic's eyes. Gun. Heat 3, field stacked. Surge steady, third at bell. Kick, second. Quali. Text. My gazelle. Heart emoji. Final morning. Stayed to France. Colossus. Stands Rainbow Sea, Flags Frenzy. Warm-up Haze, Spikes Bite. Lane 4, Prime. Rivals. Kenyan Phenom, Aussie Vet, Tyler Old Foe, Not Exchanged. Stadium Hushes. Blocks, Bang. Off-measured Pack Ballet. For 100. Mid 800, third. Burn Familiar. 1200. Gap to top 2, Lungs Forge. Bell Tolls, Roar Peaks. Swing Out, Pass Aussie. Kenyan Looms, Tyler Nipping. 100 m. 3 abreast, Elbows Brush. 50. Lean World Warps. Tape, first. Photo Finish. Wait Agonizing, Scoreboard Flickers. 3 minutes and 32.89 seconds. Gold. World Record Shave. Collapse, Track Kissing. Union Jack. No Stars and Stripes Swells. Medals, Anthem Choke. Podium Gaze. Dominic, Front Row, Tears Carving Paths. Our Secret Wave. Press Scrum. Xavier, The Moment. Global Mics. Love's Kick. Wink to Camera, Him. Post-ceremony, Village Party Wild, but we slipped out, Sane Stroll. Champion, he breathed, spinning me. Partner. Back stateside. Ticker Tape, Fifth Avenue. Confetti Storm. Parade Float Wave, Metal Glint. Homecoming Gala. NYU, Donor's Fate. Dominic emceed. Charm Lethal. From tracks to tables, Xavier's grace inspires. But humanism deepened. Foundation launch, scholarships doubled. Bronx kids ran clinics, Harlem youth chopped onions. Marcus mentored. Full Circle. Fall wedding anniversary, vows renewed. Central Park gazebo. Leaves gold, vows goldener. Through betrayals, he said. To horizons, I echoed. Years unspooled. My coaching gig NYU, his chain expanded, Voss Hayes Global. Kid, surrogate Little Z, locks like mine, curiosity doms. Family dinners. Chaos culinary, laughter loud. One Eve, rooftop Lucille, our perch. Z asleep, carrier, city sprawl. Regret, echo old. Never. You. Only time flies. Kiss eternal. Life not climax but crescendo. Human, flawed, fierce. In the end, love wasn't the hook or the heel. It was the stride, steady, shared, spanning storms to sun.